This is Video Store Clerks. All movies. All the time. Welcome to the store.
Just as time goes on.
It'll be easier once we can see each other too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our fearless leader Dave is not on here due to some medical things going on, whatever. So I wish him the best and gets feeling better again. But the show must go on, so here we are.
Show must go on. Sorry, I've been listening to lots of Queen earlier. Flash. Masters of the Universe.
Reminds me of Always Sunny.
Night Man.
Yeah.
Fighter of the Day Man. Master of Gravity. Yeah, I know. I love that show.
All time. You can't tell me other. That shit cracks me up, man.
Swallow the boy's pole.
So we had a couple of ideas for the show tonight, and of course those involve Dave. So we're going to save those for Dave. But we have one that's usually pretty fun to talk about, talking about zombies. So we're going to go around and tell our a couple of our favorite zombie films. But before that, let's do what we usually do. Anybody watch anything good or really shitty you want to talk about for a few minutes?
No, I've just been catching up on Futurama and excited that John DiMaggio has agreed to sign on. So basically, they threw enough fucking money at the guy.
I never was a big Futurama fan. I wouldn't.
I love it. I think it's better than The Simpsons. It's cleverly written and smarter.
Oh God!
I've seen episodes I've liked, and I've seen episodes that I was like, that was kind of whack.
Well, I mean, it's hit or miss.
Well, it seems like I like more of the episodes that pretty much feature Bender.
Oh, well, yeah, Bender's the best character.
Mm-hmm.
You know it, baby.
He cracks me up, for real.
Oh, yeah, John DiMaggio is hilarious. So, yeah, with him not being Bender, that would have not been so great. So it's cool that he signed back on.
But God, saying it's better than fucking Simpsons? I mean, everybody's
that's pretty bold. I don't know about that.
Again, The Simpsons were good for a time. I just can't stand them anymore.
Andrew.
They've predicted everything.
Hey, oh my God, if you still like The Simpsons, more power to you. I can't watch anything after the movie came out.
I haven't really watched The Simpsons in a long time myself, but I still don't think they're better than Futurama.
You don't think they're better? You don't think that Simpsons are better than Futurama?
No, I mean I don't think Futurama is better than The Simpsons. I did come out backwards. I definitely did say that backwards.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's again, agree to disagree. I just think Futurama had a lot of things more accurate than what The Simpsons said.
We're really gonna go with accuracy when it comes down to those shows.
Well, like Mom's Friendly Robot Company, and they everyone's favorite industrialist and all this other stuff, and they talked about how like people would worship billionaires. I
mean, they do.
Yeah, exactly. And Futurama mentioned a lot of stuff about like, advertisements and
Simpsons are just like, dude, they're calling it left and right, man. They're telling the future.
Right.
Oh, right.
You just turned into a robot, Chuck.
Yeah, you turned into a robot. Take me.
Do what?
Take me to your leader. I am Chuck the robot.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Whoa.
Tonight is not our night.
Oh God. I'm having. Hear me?
Now I can.
Connection issues. My shit's being fucking stupid. So, anyway, I was wondering because they started sounding really weird, and the thing popped up. It's my connection weak.
Well, I know other people watched Scream. I haven't. So.
Oh yeah, we're not going to touch on that one, no, because I watched that one recently too. So I'm not even gonna. You got to watch that. We're going to have that episode.
I need to.
I gotta watch it yet too.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet either?
No.
Oh shit. It's a good one. It's a good one. That's all I'm gonna say. I enjoy it, but we'll talk about that again later on.
Exactly.
Chad, did you watch it? Was worth mentioning this past week?
What did I watch this week? I need to start writing this shit down. It's rough remembering what you watch whenever you're a pothead and you do smoke weed and you get home.
I
Right,
remember
start-
you mentioned something about watching that movie with Diamond Dallas Page in it.
Well,
Or was
that's
that-
actually a series.
Oh, series. Okay.
What is
That's
it again?
a series on Netflix. But I haven't watched all of it yet. It's called what's it? Guardians of
Not the Galaxy.
Guardians of Justice.
Yeah. It's supposed to be
in
in
it, and Derek Mears is in it.
Wow. And I heard it's supposed to be like some sort of like Flash Gordon type of thing.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Oh,
It's like
That's
a fucked
actually
up-
awesome.
It's like a fucked up version of like the Justice League. Like I think it's like Netflix is kind of like their answer to the Boys or something.
I mean, they tried doing that with Jupiter or something.
Like they have like all like the DC characters pretty much. Like Batman's called Nightwing, but it's spelled with the K.
Nice.
And then Aquaman is King Tsunami.
King Tsunami. I need to watch this. I love the names already.
The Joker
happening?
is what was his name? Mr. Smiles.
Mr. It is really
so
just
original.
Yeah, it's
I
it's
love
up
it.
there, man. Like
They should call Aquaman Mr. Bukaki. That would have been more interesting.
No, better yet, tentacle rape.
There we go.
Like the Flash character is called the Speed.
The speed.
speed.
But
Does he
but
listen
it's
to
a female.
Motor? What?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Well, the guy who created it did the Castlevania series, and he's a giant nerd, so I'm not
The way-
surprised at any
it
of
makes
it.
sense because like the way it's filmed, like it's like an actual show, but then like some of the scenes cut to like 80s like style cartoons to like almost like video games. And
So
then,
it's like,
and then like comics and shit. So like it bounces around. So like the way it's filmed is pretty dope. Like I like it
So-
a lot.
so it's like heavy metal.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. I
I can dig
definitely
that.
need to check this out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
for
pretty
real.
dope the way they filmed it up. And it's even like looks like it's filmed really low budget too, so it just makes it even better.
Nice.
I can dig that. I haven't really, man. I've been catching up on Law and Order and Bel Air, and
Oh yeah, how is Bel Air still?
it's still interesting. It's so weird because like I completely forget what I'm watching, and then it's like it's like, oh, Aunt Viv, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm watching Fresh Prince, the new class. Like,
Right.
Is that what it's called?
oh, it's just called Bel Air.
Oh,
But-
okay, the new class.
The new class was Saved by the Bell. The new
Okay,
class.
I thought so.
Yeah, as a youngster, I used to watch that show a lot more than I like to admit. But whatever.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I watched it too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was a big Tiffany Amber Thiessen person.
I mean, who
I
wasn't?
mean, yeah. Whew, she's still smoking. I'm trying to think if there's any movies that I watched. I know I watched something, but like Chad said, I need to think of that. I need to figure it out. I did, like I said,
right now I'm scrolling through my watch again list on Prime to see what the fuck I actually did watch.
it happens.
I worked a lot, so that's why I didn't walk. Oh yeah, I worked a lot and then I packed a lot of stuff, so I didn't do much watching. Oh yeah, and music stuff. I did some music stuff too.
Well, I actually found something out. It turns out that I'm going to be needing glasses.
Oh no! Wait, welcome to the club.
Yeah, see, I've been told that. I'm the only person in my immediate family who doesn't have glasses, and I've always had, when I had COVID, I started getting this blurry thing like
oh
in
no!
my right eye, and no one has said anything or heard anything about COVID causing eye issues. So I went to after like almost a month of like, I wasn't feeling anymore, feeling fine, blah, blah, but I still got this fucking blur and it makes it hard to watch TV and shit. And it seems like it almost got worse and more annoying. So I went to the doctor and he did some checking out on some stuff in my eye. And he's like, well, let's get you some glasses and we're going to do some more tests and more pictures and stuff and see what happens. And he said that they'd never heard anything about COVID causing eye issues. But he said that look, there's a thing called coincidences, and there's things called well, you might have your name in a science book if it is COVID. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. So yeah, so I haven't been watching too much because watching TV is a struggle. I have to cover one eye half the time, and it starts to hurt really bad. And driving is even more fun because everything's just blurry in one eye. And if I have both my eyes open, it just looks like a scattered mess when it comes down to it.
Well, I hope you would drive with both eyes open driving.
I do.
That's good.
Most of the time. I tell my 9-year-old to be my eyes. I'm like, look, Dad's gonna close his eyes. You just tell me left or right. And
he's like, no, what are you doing?
He just bad thing is he doesn't know the difference between left and right yet. So I'm really screwed on this one.
Well, you made it. You're still alive, so
that makes it tough.
I definitely drive with both eyes open most of the time. At least one.
I know. I thought you were. I knew you were just being funny.
Well, I wear a blindfold and say fuck it. Pray for the best.
Right. Well, I mean, I do live in
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, I do live in backwoods Kentucky, so stranger things have been seen and happened.
It's actually funny because in that fucking Jean-Claude Van Johnson show, he has a race scene where he races this dude, and he actually puts a blindfold on and finds his center and races the dude with the blindfold on.
Interesting.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that show was fucking great.
Need to watch that show.
It's good shit.
Oh yeah. All right. So let's get into this whole zombie thing here. Zombies is a category, all on its own, a genre all of its own. That you either love it or you hate it, or you kind of like it. You're kind of okay with it. I've always been a big zombie fan, and Walking Dead came along and just about killed it for me. So yeah, with that being said, Chad, do you agree?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because
I know a lot of Walking Dead fanatics and like big fans, and I don't even know.
Well, I mean, it's fucked up. They would have like Walking Dead became popular, and one minute, everybody was looking down on people who liked horror and all that stuff. Next thing I know, there's 5 different commercials on TV that's zombie commercials.
Well, I don't know, like that. Like I didn't mind it at first, but they just kind of lost me. Like probably around like season 4 or whatever.
It was after season 2 for me. And I was just like, God, I can't do this.
It was whenever they first got to like that one. Whenever they first got to like that first town they got to, and then I didn't watch it again until fucking Glenn got his face bashed in.
Yeah, I did watch that. Like,
I had to watch that episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, that's probably the most brutal shit they've done.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. That's pretty fucking. I was clapping, but I also felt like an asshole for clapping. Like,
he got on my nerves.
He did. His woman. Well, what was her fucking name? Oh fuck.
Oh, the one.
Maggie.
The one, yeah.
Maggie. Maggie was. I always thought Maggie was hot. I always thought she could do better than him. But whatever.
I was always a big fan of the Punisher, dude.
I hated him in Walking Dead. I hated him so much in Walking Dead. It was hard for me to watch him in anything else. Like I'm just like God. Like like. I know he does, he's better to watch other things, but just like his whole character in Walking Dead, it's like I swear I grew up with guys like this, and
he's a piece of shit. But I think that's why I liked him, just because like everybody hated him.
Well, yeah.
I was always an underdog fan.
Yeah, I can understand it, but I got tired of people fucking asking me, like I'd be talking to somebody wearing a Walking Dead shirt or whatever, and they talk about how much they love like Romero films, and then they would be like, "Oh yeah, like Walking Dead." And I'm like, Walking Dead is not Romero.
Yeah.
Like, shut your fucking hole. Go educate yourself. Quit pissing me off. Go somewhere else.
It does kind of get thrown in there somehow.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's going to, Chad, what would you say would be your first pick as your top 3 favorite zombie films? Starting from least to best. Go just tell your number 3 first.
Shit. Number 3 would probably be Shaun of the Dead.
Damn good movie.
That shit cracks me up. Like, I don't care. Like, it never gets old. I could watch it every fucking day.
I mean, it is a good one. I mean, it's one of my favorite. It's not my top 3, but it's one of my favorite zombie films as well. I mean, it's a comedy, but it's a really good one. It's a really good comedy horror one.
Yeah, that's kind of why I figured I'd use that as 3, just because it kind of has that humor aspect in it.
Yeah, totally. I can totally deal with that. I love that movie actually.
Yeah, it's good shit.
Hell yeah, Andrew. What would be your number 3? Andrew.
Hello.
Hola. Where you at?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. I thought we lost you.
Weird. Okay, but no. I was gonna actually say that, so that's okay. I can use another movie. I will say, actually, Dead Alive.
Ah, yes.
Just because the scene with the freaking priest is the greatest part in the whole movie.
I was actually talking to my tattoo artist today about tattooing the rat monkey on me.
Nice.
It's not the best. Okay, it's one of the best parts. The best parts in the whole movie is literally the end with the fucking lawnmower. But it's just so gory and so over the top, and it reminded me of Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Of course. I mean, it's so funny to think that Peter Jackson's the one that made that movie.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, you
Master
think
of Lord of the Rings and
right,
fucking
King Kong and shit. Like, it's just like, oh, boom, here's this fucking movie that is a cult classic, honestly.
I just always love
Exactly.
whenever his mom's falling apart and they're eating the custard and shit. That part always cracked me.
Oh yeah, that part is hilarious.
Yeah. That was the movie that was one of those movies that stuck out as a kid. That would come on like late night on like, either Up All Night or Sci-Fi Channel or like HBO or some shit like that. And me and my friends would always, we couldn't help but to watch it, even if it was like on in a row somewhere, which used to happen a lot.
Right. What's kind of funny though is because since I said Shaun of the Dead and Andrew's going to pick that, like I almost said Dead Alive. So that's even funny.
I like how we both thought the same movies. That nice.
Well, yeah, because Adrian even said he almost picked Shaun of the Dead. So like,
Right.
Very like-minded on this.
Yeah.
So far we're picking good ones here, folks. I'd say that my number 3 for zombie films, man.
I know.
That is kind of a tough one. There's going to be a running theme with mine. We're gonna go City of the Living Dead. We're going to City of the Living Dead from Lucio Fulci.
I've never watched any of those, but I've always been told they're awesome.
It's weird because like City of the Living Dead, or any of his movies that involve zombies, there's always like 3 other things going on amongst that kind of stuff. And City of the Living Dead is one out of the trilogy of his Gates of Hell, which is City of the Living Dead, The Beyond, and House for the Cemetery.
Okay.
And City of the Living Dead, I had to put on there because it's one of my favorites. It's so disgusting. Hey, there's a quick synopsis of it is like synopsis, whatever. There's a seance going on. Some shit gets like lured out, and crazy shit happens. The girl ends up fucking like buried alive, just about. This news reporter fucking like hears her screaming, gets her. It's a whole fucked up thing. I mean, this movie is chocked with all kinds of gore. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It starts out. It's got a very famous scene where it starts out with a priest hanging himself in a cemetery.
Wow. Well, I know that I know the name of the director. He's quite infamous.
Yes, Fulci is very infamous. These are my favorites
for good reason.
Pretty decent. I've seen a couple, but not all of them.
He has like 5 or 6 really good ones.
Like,
you know what I mean?
He did Zombie, right?
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, I thought that was the famous one, like Fulci for Zombie.
Oh yeah. That's It's there. We'll get to that one. But City of the Living Dead. That's I'm gonna have to go. That's my number three. There's also Room Full of Maggots. Happens. These people are trying to figure out what's going on. Window blows open. All these maggots fly at them, and it fills this room up up to above their ankles and maggots. And the thing is, they used real maggots.
Wow.
And I guess they went to there was a maggot farm they went to, and they just loaded up.
Are we still talking about Fulci?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he always tried to go for the realistic stuff and even using real stuff sometimes. That's my number three. Chad, what's your number two?
Probably gonna have to go with Train to Busan.
Ah, yeah.
Damn it. That's a really good pick because I was thinking.
I've watched it like 3 times in the last couple of weeks.
Nice.
It's a good one.
My favorite character is the guy who just punches shit. That guy's fucking great.
It was funny because me and the one dude at work, there was this guy the other night at work, and he looked just like that dude.
Nice.
He looked like a mix, if that dude and the big bad guy from Squid Game had another brother.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that.
He was dead. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Train to Busan was just not only the story was great, but the cinematography was just amazing.
Right, and then plus you get this have some guy that's totally up his ass about his job finally realize fucking work's not as important as you think.
Yeah.
Right.
I gotta protect my family.
Yeah,
you can actually watch him grow in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the backstories and the character development for a zombie movie is really good.
Yeah, and I mean, it was minimal makeup too. It was just some painted on veins and some blood thrown around.
Yeah.
I'm a very picky person when it comes down to foreign films. Okay, I'm a picky person.
Well,
I think it's more along the lines of Japanese films and shit like that. I just
exactly. You don't watch enough Japanese movies.
Yeah, well, I've watched quite a few. I don't. A lot of times I'm just okay. But some of them are okay, and some of them are just what the fuck am I watching? Why the fuck am I watching this?
It's Japan,
right? But
I think that's Korean.
I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Korean. Yeah. Korean. Okay. Asian films. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Let's be correct here. But
we'll get PC for a minute.
Yeah, right. For a minute, just for a second. I had a lot of friends of mine that were like, dude, you've got to watch this movie. You've got to watch it. And I was like, look, I don't want to read subtitles. Look, you can find it with overdubs. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And man, I watched it and I was like, wow, it took me way too long to watch this movie. I should have watched it a long time ago. It's a damn good film. I mean, it's a good, damn good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the backstory on it and everything is a little more in depth, a little more dramatic than most. Right.
Then
Korea's a lot
out,
more dramatic than Japan.
Right. But his company's almost the ones that were involved in making the fucking virus.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
My thing was so my friends dude, you gotta watch Train to Busan. And I'm like, I don't know. Do I have to read it? We probably find you an overdub. All right, cool. Is there anything weird sexually with children in it? No. All right, that's good. Okay. Is there anything weird sexually at all in it? No, not in this one. Wow. Okay, it's selling.
Not in this one.
So no, it's very rare. Just about every one that I've seen has been something that's been pretty disturbing and disgusting. I mean, this one was really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, it was a dope movie.
Yeah.
I feel like Korea and Japan have a line. They don't do creepy, like you said, with child stuff. It's not
And then plus, I said, with his company, the one being really the ones that are responsible, it just shows you how quick karma can fucking kill you.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit more of the realistic zombie movies I've seen recently.
And that's why I like it so much, because That's probably like the realistic version of how it really would happen.
Yeah, totally.
Nah, I could see that. Yeah, definitely. Andrew, what's your number 2? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, number 2. And
Are you fixing food right now?
No.
Are you in the bathroom?
Yes.
You're taking a number 2 while thinking of your number 2?
No, I'm not. I'm just in the bathroom. I'm trying to think of number 2. Number 2. Number 2. No, nothing like that. I'm gonna have to say. I'm gonna have to go with the unpopular one. I mean, it became a cult classic, but I know it was originally released, people hated it. Day of the Dead.
Oh no, that's a good one.
Yeah, I know, but like if you go back, people are just like they hated the movie.
It was like at that time, like I mean, it was one of the well before Land of the Dead came out, it was like everybody's least favorite.
Yeah, exactly. The Land of the Dead replaced Day of the Dead as the least favorite.
Right.
But yeah, Day of the Dead was the follow up right before Dawn of the Dead, and so it had a lot of backstory to what was going on, and it had that nationalistic thing that they were talking about with the military, and that Romero always tried to drive home the point that like just because they're military doesn't mean that you should trust them with everything.
Right. Yeah.
And the way they handled everything, and you're just like, this is the military dealing with this. And this was early 80s or like 19? Yeah, it was the early 80s. So it was in the time period where it was just like a little bit after like Vietnam.
Every time I watch that movie, I have the urge to watch The Thing afterwards, just because how they're down in that little bunker.
Oh yeah.
But the one part of the movie that was really interesting that a lot of people really weren't thinking about is like, well, what would happen if you tried to reanimate the corpse and teach it? Further explored in the other Romero movies, but that was like the first time that was touched on. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I don't know. It didn't work very well for Frankenhooker.
Well, no, it didn't. Another great movie. That's not a trauma movie, surprisingly. It's just it has all the hallmarks of a trauma movie. But
a trauma library.
Right.
I'm not surprised. But no, Day of the Dead I think doesn't get enough credit. And they tried to remake it, and it's terrible. Poor Bing Rames. Just
it's
fucking
so bad.
Thrown into everything.
Yeah, I never saw that. I didn't even give it a shot. Like I was just.
You're talking about the Day of the Dead remake, right?
Yeah, and then they tried remaking that remake. I'm like, stop, please stop. Oh no, they tried to do a TV show that didn't even get greenlit. I think it got a pilot, and then people didn't give a shit about it. Yeah,
like the second day, like they made it was Day of the Dead something blood or something like that.
So they did a sequel to it, and I'm like, why? Stop.
Well, see, I was talking to my buddy, Cameron George C. Romero. And when that came out, I asked him because him and his stepson watched it, and I was like, "Was it any good?" And he just kind of looked at me like, "What do you think?" And I was like, and then the premise of the movie, from what he told me, was it's like it has to do with like virgins or something with like the zombies are feasting off like they had like I don't know, it's something sexual, like the zombies are horny or some shit, like I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not good. It's a piece of shit. I mean, I watched it. I've heard it's a piece of shit. Therefore, I'm gonna agree it's probably a piece of shit. Yeah,
I've never seen it.
Yeah, hey, you don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. As it doesn't sound like it'd be worth a shit. So, I'm not wasting my time. So you shouldn't either. I like you that much.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, Day of the Dead, fucking, that's a classic, man. I mean, you had fucking what was the zombie in that? It's been a minute since I've watched it. The zombie that was being taught everything was Bub. Yeah. My guitar player has a Bub mask that back in the day in our other band, he used to have it sitting on his amp when we played live.
No doubt.
Yeah. But yeah, I always thought it was a pretty good take on on the idea of like, hey, what if we make one of these like zombies, the undead, and try to like teach them stuff. And you know what though, man? Like I felt bad for Bub because like he was trying his best. You know what I mean? Like you actually are like, wow, man, that's really fucking sad.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Like you actually felt like remorse for like a zombie, which you shouldn't. And that's what I think I really liked about Day of the Dead, because everyone knows Dawn of the Dead and everyone loves it for obvious reasons. Day of the Dead is just so overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
everyone's
agree.
like Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. No one ever mentions Day.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it also has one of my favorite death scenes, which is the scene where the colonel guy, or whatever, like the asshole, where he gets ripped apart by like 30 zombies at once.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like Chad was saying, the bunker is such a cool idea.
Yeah.
Because it's done in so many other movies after that in the 90s with like, the weird like Nazi zombie stuff with the bunker and stuff like that.
Or the movie Nazi Zombies.
Or, yeah, that. That was so dumb, but it was entertaining.
Hey, you know, so I gotta say, well, okay, we'll do that in a second.
The bottom.
So what you're saying?
All right, so my second one.
Yeah.
I'm also I have to go with my boy Fulci again. With
okay.
The infamous zombie, as we mentioned earlier. It's a pretty cool idea, man, because it was Fulci's idea to make a movie that went along with Dawn of the Dead, because Dawn of the Dead was really big. I mean, it was making waves, and so Fulci was like, I'm gonna make a movie that actually tells you how the zombies got to America, and that's what he does.
Okay, that I can see that.
There's a woman whose father's a scientist, a doctor. He's over in fucking Hades somewhere, I think it is, and I think it's Hades. It could be somewhere else.
I think it is Hades.
I think it is Hades. And she hasn't heard from him for a while, and all this stuff. So she like hires this guy that's like a private investigator, and you find out that this island that her dad, the scientist dude, people are coming back from the dead, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty creepy movie too, though.
It's a good one. I have
the
30th anniversary DVD.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna watch these damn zombie movies.
You need to. You really need to. This one especially. I mean, this really does explain. I mean, there's a whole bunch of shit that goes on, but there's a couple of things in this movie that make this movie so fucking like infamous for what they are, or what it is.
It's mentioned up until this day, and like you said, it's been around for like what, 30, 40 years.
I mean, yeah. But like, it's the only movie that I could think of. Well, it's the first of its kind anyway, where, I mean, there's a zombie underwater that's going against a shark.
Okay, I love that. It's sold me at that one.
It's a great scene. It's a great scene. There's titties. There's a whole thing where like these people are like, they're on a little boat, and they're like, the girl is like wanting to like do some diving, and she does some diving shirtless, no top, whatever, clearly, and she gets underwater and she gets attacked by a zombie underwater, and then she ends up getting away, and a shark comes by and runs into the zombie, and the zombie and the shark start fighting, and it was a real shark in the movie.
So that's maybe why people got upset about it.
Yeah, I can't, because like, yeah, he does stab the shark, and the shark. I think, if I remember correctly, I think the shark ends up killing the zombie though. But then there's also a very famous thing that Fulci always liked to do, and he was always a fan of piercing eyes.
I've heard of that.
Eyeballs. And one of the most infamous scenes of all time is in this movie.
Okay, cool.
Again, woman's in the shower. She gets out of the shower, and she starts hearing this noise. And she's walking around everywhere, and then she sees something. She can see somebody walking around, and she's hiding behind this door that's like one of these. It's like a little hut kind of place, and she's it's one of these doors that has a lot of the shutter kind of looking stuff on it, and it's all wood, and she gets the door, and the zombie puts his arm through the door and pulls her head back out, and there's this big giant fucking splinter. When I say a big fucking splinter, I mean it's a big fucking piece of wood with a fucking point on it. And
no.
and dude, like I remember the first time I watched it, it hurt my fucking eyes because he's pulling her in on it, and they close up, and he just pierces her eye with this fucking like big giant piece of like pointed wood, and then like it breaks off in her eye, and they have like all this ooze coming. Like I mean, it's pretty brutal, like screaming and everything. I mean, it's one of my favorite scenes. It really is.
It makes you cringe.
It does. I mean, I'm worried about my eyes anyway. Like, I mean, especially if they're going all of my fucking eyes. But like, I don't like that. That's why I can't get underneath I don't
need these eyes anymore. Stab.
Yeah, I can't. Anything that's going to be anywhere near my eyes, like it freaks me out. Putting the fucking eye drops on my eyes yesterday at the doctor's office, I barely can fucking do it. And so like watching movies where my fear is coming to life, I kind of like it because it's like, okay, it happened to me, so that's good. Knock on wood.
Nice.
We're just gonna knock on wood here, just hope for the best.
My number one, and even though they're not technically zombies, damn it, they're fucking close enough.
Okay.
Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, it's not your turn yet, Andrew.
Damn it.
Chad goes next, buddy. Come on, wait your turn, Andrew. What is this? Garden.
Well, see, I mean, I was honestly going to go Evil Dead franchise total.
Right.
But I feel like, I don't know, like it's kind of zombie-esque, but I don't know if I consider it a zombie movie. And plus I could go Evil Dead anything for my favorite anythings when it comes to horror shit.
Yeah, you can just make up something. Like my favorite movie with a rape scene involving a plant.
Right. Like anything like that.
Yeah,
like,
Evil Dead.
It's there.
Yeah.
But
not Little Shop of Horrors.
Right.
That movie's dope.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I was thinking just because it's kind of a classic and it's still cheesy, and I love cheesy horror movies, especially when it comes to zombies. So probably Return of the Living Dead.
Ah, yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's classic, man. Like I love that shit. Like whenever they're in the embalming room and everything.
It's also the see, a lot of people get confused. It's one of the first it's the first movie
of its franchise.
Well, right. It doesn't really have anything to do with Night of the Living Dead, except the fact that they use the story of what happened in Night of the Living Dead in Return of the Living Dead. But a lot of people get confused thinking that zombies have always wanted brains. We want your brains. No, it was only in this movie. This was the first movie where brains was a thing. Yeah. And that's how you can really tell the real from the fake. Are the ones that don't seem to realize that zombies haven't always wanted brains. No. They wanted flesh.
We had to eat some fucking raw meat.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Alive raw meat.
Right. And not to mention the fact, I mean, like the effects in that movie are fucking wicked.
Early 90s. Yep.
And even like all the sequels were pretty dope in their own way too. Like,
yeah.
Did you see the remake that they had with like Shannon Elizabeth?
No.
There's a remake to it?
Yeah.
About like 2 or 3, probably maybe like 4 years ago.
No.
I think it wasn't terrible, but
there was Night of the Demons was a remake that had Shannon Elizabeth in it a few years ago.
Is that what I'm thinking about? Maybe.
I think that's what you're thinking about.
Maybe, yeah.
No, that might be what you're thinking. I've never heard of that. I could be wrong, but I've never heard of it.
Well, you're probably right.
Well, I'm not gonna lie and say I don't like hearing that.
But yeah, either way, that movie was all right.
Yeah, but yeah, man, Return of the Living Dead is it's a brilliant movie. It's hilarious, and let's not forget the scene in the cemetery with the hot punk chick.
Yeah, those little fucking those kids cracked me. That whole like gang cracked me the fuck up.
Oh yeah, it's a good one, dude. Such a good one.
Like the hot rod leatherheads.
Yeah, yeah. Like it definitely like it's like the shit you would see like in like some trauma movies.
Right.
Or That's a nuke
Yeah.
and shit like that. Yeah, man, good stuff. Makes me happy every time I watch it.
Yeah, that shit's good
Andrew,
stuff.
Andrew.
Okay, so sorry, I was not trying to be impatient, but yeah, no, Evil Dead 2, even though technically Evil Dead, they're not zombies, but they're zombies enough. It's got iconic lines and classic one-liners from Bruce Campbell, and in all terms and purposes, it's a little bit better than the first movie, and it's essentially a remake, even though it's called
Right.
2. It's weird.
Well,
It's
yeah.
like, and they explain why too, and the explanation is like, okay,
I remember being
I
a kid being
even
really.
consider Army of Darkness Evil Dead 3 all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. So like, I don't understand that. Like, whatever. They just wanted to be funny, but no,
That's one of my favorite horror franchises, hands down.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just so well done.
it is, man. You can't really go wrong with Evil Dead.
And like, I wasn't even mad at the remake at all.
Love the remake. Love the remake.
Like,
Although,
to me, like that scene where that bitch is licking that blade, like that scene makes me cringe as much as the eyeball scene from Zombie.
yeah, I can dig that. Yeah.
I think that was kind of the point.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Man. But tum. We got comedians here, folks.
Yep,
Always.
every
everyone.
Thursday. I mean Wednesday.
I think that movie kind of changed horror in itself.
Oh,
dude,
yeah, Evil Dead for sure.
Yeah. There's a documentary on Shudder about the fans of Evil.
Oh yeah, the Hell Deadites.
Yeah. I haven't got a chance to watch all of it yet because I tried watching it one night and it was a really bad night to try to like watch anything.
I watched it the one night.
Was it pretty good?
It's not bad. Like, they even like focus on this one fan that like is big at the conventions. Like, he was actually at the convention that I went whenever Bruce signed my arm.
Nice.
And he was in line in front of me.
I think you mentioned that one time on one of the episodes.
Yeah, but he
Yeah, it's pretty long
he
story.
dresses up like Ash every convention.
Nice.
That's dedication. It's fucking dedication.
He has the chin and everything.
You gotta have
That's
the chin.
impressive.
It's like he had it surgically done just to look like Bruce Campbell. I gotta have the chin.
I don't know. Knowing this guy is like fan, love.
Complete fan.
You never know.
I mean,
I didn't even realize it was him until after I watched that documentary.
Okay, how about honorable mentions?
But hold on, let me go for my number one first. Man, you're just jumping the gun today, homie.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you went for. Never mind. Go ahead.
It's because he isn't actually eating on this show, and he's hungry.
Andrew, I want you to not just give you a shake because I like you. I hope you know that.
I know.
Okay. I feel like he gets on your nerves.
Nah.
Just a little bit. I got you. It's okay. It's out of love. Okay. Just know it's always out of love. Okay.
Exactly.
My number one is not Fulci. It is one that will forever be the greatest and the best and the start of the complete zombie thing. I know there was zombie movies before it, but this one really was the staple. And of course, I'm talking about Romero's Night of the Living Dead. I have it tattooed on me. I have the girl tattooed on me, and it's a movie that I reach for all the time. If I feel like I want to watch something black and white and just chill out, smoke one, drink a few, and just chill out, I put a Night of the Living Dead. It also has a special place in my heart because for many reasons, but one is because it was the first movie me and my son watched together. When he was a baby and he first came home from the hospital, he had been home maybe 3 days, and it was my turn. His mom, I told her, "Hey, why don't you go to bed?" We lived in a small ass fucking duplex. It was cluttered as fuck, so we couldn't all this be. And we also had a spider problem. And the spider problem was brown recluses, and they were in our bedroom.
Oh no!
Right. So we didn't have the kids in there at all during that time.
That's like a death problem.
Right. Yeah. Like, it was terrifying. It really was, dude. We'll put it this way: when we moved this place, Then the internet was being put in. The guy went underneath the building, and he comes running back out, like jumps out and everything. I'm like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, I just need a minute. I was like, "What's going on?"
I just need a minute.
He goes, "Man, there's a shovel down there, and I kicked it, and the whole ground fucking moved."
No shit.
Yeah, and he's like, "Look, dude," and he shows me like down there, and like it was full of spiders. We had black widows living in there, brown recluses.
The sad part is, I'd rather be bitten by a black widow because they don't kill you unless you're a child.
Unless you're allergic to them.
You still
If you're allergic to bee stings or wasp stings, then you're in trouble if a scorpion or a black widow bite you or sting you.
Again, but you won't die. You'll just get really sick. Brown recluses actually eat the skin from your body, their venom, and it's fucking crazy.
Jeff Hanneman from Slayer, rest in peace. That was
that's how he died.
Yep. He got bitten by a spider in his fucking arm because dude, it's so fucked up looking at that shit because it really does.
I saw pictures.
It makes your arm look like a fucking hot dog that hasn't cut all the way.
They showed that zombie realm we're talking about.
Right.
I mean, kind of, yeah. They showed pictures afterwards too, and it was just like, man, that's pretty gnarly looking.
Yeah, but anyway, so we had this whole problem, and so it was my turn, to watch Dax up front, and so like I was like, all right, put on a black and white movie and turn the lights off and see what's up, and he was just a little guy, and he was laying on my stomach, laying on my chest, and I put a Night of the Living Dead, and he kind of turned around and he just kind of sat the other way and kind of laid back. It was just quiet as anything, just loved it, and it's still one of those movies that occasionally, if I put on, I just always think of that. So, Night of the Living Dead's my when it comes to that.
It's so wholesome. I love your number one. That's great.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah,
I was expecting something like just vicious and like, oh yeah, someone's arm gets gnawed off. But
yeah, right.
Living Dead, so none of that happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's some scenes in that movie for that time period, but yeah, no, it wasn't. But you were talking about honorable mentions.
Yeah. Honorable mentions.
I have one, and it's probably in my top 10. And it's also a foreign film as well as a comedy horror movie. Dead Snow. Have you ever watched Snow?
Wait, what was that?
Dead Snow.
Oh, Dead Snow. Yeah, I remember that movie.
That movie is one of my favorites. I'm not too keen on the second one. They should have just left it alone.
Yeah, Dead Snow is great because again, Nazi zombies.
Yeah,
Nazi zombies. Like it's funny. I mean, the all the characters, everything, and like it's done really well.
It really is, and I thought, like you said, it's better as a one-off, and like they tried to do a franchise out of it, and
yeah, I hate shit with movies, dude.
How many did they make?
Well, they made two, and the second one was like there was no reason for it. It was like people who were after after the Nazi zombies or some shit. Like I've only seen it one time. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I saw the first one, but I never did see the second one.
Well, no, and they tried. They had plans for a franchise. I'm like, please no.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't. God, I hope
comic series and everything. Like it was ridiculous. Like essentially, they were trying to make another Walking Dead. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, let's not do that. Like even like
Walking Dead spinoffs they have. Look at that shit.
Oh, they're having another one with Terry Crews. Although I am kind of intrigued because Terry Crews being a survivor in a zombie film, like in a zombie show, sounds kind of hilarious.
Well, my ears perked up whenever you said Terry Crews. He's funny as fuck anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Terry Crews is one of the people involved in the spinoff, and some of the actors they got, I'm like, well, fuck, I kind of want to give it a chance now.
Like he's my favorite thing on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yeah. Terry doesn't like ice cream. Terry loves yogurt.
He's just an all around good guy anyway, though. From what's
he's a giant goofball.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of shit that came. There was a bunch of women who were trying to say that he was this way and that way, and he pretty much put them in their place and debunked that shit really quick. Like fucking shitty. But yeah, like I can't do the Walking Dead shit, man. The
So-
spin off that it's just like it's like how much it's like how far does Hollywood's dick have to be up your ass to realize that they're fucking you?
Pretty much.
You know, I mean, do you really need like? It's like we'll just keep feeding the masses with everything we can. Just feed them, feed them. Oh, you want zombies? Here we go. Here's Walking Dead Part 3. We're gonna call it "Fear of the Undead Walkers Who Eat Your Asshole." I don't know. Like it's just it's
See,
like,
what's funny?
you don't
is,
need
like,
it.
One of the guys I work with that I actually taught how to deal and stuff. Whenever he was in my blackjack class, he needed to leave for like 2 weeks because he was going to be a zombie in the new Walking Dead show.
Oh,
Well, that's kind of cool.
I mean,
He was worried he couldn't go, and I was like, "Good thing I'm your teacher. You came to the right guy."
Yeah, I know, right? You're like,
"Oh,
fuck
I
it.
should-" I mean,
Go
'cause,
ahead.
like,
Go do that.
I've been extras in a few movies. and shit
Wait,
like
really?
that.
Which ones?
We went up to Pittsburgh. What is 2? We went to Pittsburgh for Unstoppable, and we were just standing by the fucking train tracks all day watching trains go by.
I've never heard of that movie.
Denzel Washington and
I remember that movie.
Chris-
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
Unstoppable. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Shit, you working in a Denzel movie? Look at that
That's
shit.
pretty badass. Yeah, I know.
Then we were extras in Zack and Mary Make a Porno.
Really?
God damn it! That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, we were
That
in
movie is hilarious.
deleted scene number 12 or 11, something like that.
Oh wow.
That's
Okay.
awesome. Me and one of my best friends, she's kind of a goofball, but we were gonna make a podcast like months ago, and we never got around to it. And we were gonna call it Chuck and Jen Make a Podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, and it would have been great too. I'm telling you, everybody would have loved it, but it never happened.
That movie got a lot of beef, Zack and Mary, but I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny too. I mean, come on, like when Tracy Lord shits all over that guy's fuck. Come on, that's hilarious.
It was just
Justin Long.
oh my god, yeah, Justin Long, and that was hilarious.
What do you, I'm not your demographic.
Well,
Do you,
I had
what?
one of the guys at work cracking up one day because he was like, "Come here for a minute," and I was like, "I don't do Dutch rudders," and he fucking started laughing his ass.
Oh my god, the Dutch rudder.
Yeah. God damn it. That's awesome though, dude. That's fucking cool as shit though.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was a long day for that one.
So you're
Unstoppable shit wasn't too bad.
I gotta say though, we've managed to do it again. See, remember how fear became a topic?
Yeah.
Oh,
Everything from fear. Well, we were talking about we mentioned SOD earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, well, who was an SOD?
Scott Ian.
Scott Ian. All right, Scott Ian is also known for anthrax. And Scott Ian was he was a zombie in one of the seasons of Walking Dead.
Oh, that's right, he was.
Yeah. So look at that. It all comes full circle.
It's what's
the first horror convention I ever went to was a zombie convention, and we met all the guys from Night of the Living Dead that were still alive, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and Greg Nicotero and Tom Savini were there.
Oh, nice.
Wait, is Greg still alive?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I know
He works on the new
That
Creep
was
Show.
actually the same convention where Dave met Eddie Munster.
I'm jealous. I know he passed away.
And that's a story all in itself.
I bet.
No, Eddie Munster's still alive.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
still alive.
Yeah,
What-
yeah.
Oh, the guy who played
Patrick.
Grandpa died. Okay.
Yeah, Butch Patrick's still alive.
Yeah, he the guy that does the main hosting on Tell Us on the Podcast, dude, you want to see them on? JB. He actually went and hung out with him while he was showing off the Monsters car at some place that's near where he lives. Here, like I guess it was a few months back or whatever. Shit. Oh, yeah, no, one thing that I got completely like, whew. No, talking about Walking Dead and shit. One thing that I actually, even though I'm not a huge fan, but would still be cool to see, my ex, she lived in Georgia for a few years, and Georgia is where they filmed a large portion of The Walking Dead.
It's usually there in Virginia.
Yeah, and they have a Walking Dead museum there, and I've seen pictures from it. It seems pretty fucking cool. They got like props and stuff. Like they've got the door that says "Don't open." Zombies inside or whatever, walking or dead or
Dead
inside. Or
inside.
yeah, they've got that in there, and then they've got that motorcycle Duder had. Can't remember his fucking name. What the fuck is that dude's name? The guy that was in Boondock Saints and all that.
Oh, fucking Norman Reedus.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, they had all kinds of cool shit in there, or whatever. And like, uh, when we went to Georgia a couple of times, like she pointed out a few places where they filmed certain things. It's kind of cool, But just goddamn, I just that place or that show. I wish that I liked it more than I do. I really do, but I don't.
Do you still watch it, Andrew? Hello?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you still watch The Walking Dead?
I used to. I really wanted to be into it like everyone else, but I stopped after Herschel. And then I kind of picked it back up, the whole Glenn thing, and I'm just like, Negan's kind of cool. I'm just like, yeah, great. Because I liked the governor more in the comics, because the governor in the comics just gave no fucks.
That's what I heard. Like I never even like read the comics till after the show. Like I didn't
The
realize
comics
like
were
the main
amazing.
character in the comic is the black dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the comics are. I prefer reading the comics. The guy that made that.
My nephew is real big on the comics.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of black and white comics. Our comic book that's coming out is black and white as well.
Well, yeah.
What is it?
I said Walking Dead was black and white, so I think that's really cool that you guys are continuing the tradition.
Yeah. Well, I'll just go ahead and do this real quick. Shameless plug. Tales of Shock and Horror or shit. My bad. Woo. Tales of Shock and Terror. Yeah, really. Tales of Shock and Terror. We got a Kickstarter up right now. You can go to the Tell Us on the Podcast /2G1C page and check out all that stuff. There's all kinds of cool perks if you get on there and get some stuff now.
I will when I'm not poor.
I get it. I understand. There's four covers. There's a cover for each of the stories, which is me, JB, and Ron Petrie. I just totally rhymed saying that. But there's a cover for each one of our stories, and then there's a main cover. It's being put out by Cutthroat Comics, and
Nice deal.
And it's hand drawn, and the cover's hand painted by our friend Drew Moreland. She does an amazing job on it. So anybody that's a big fan of the old school EC Comics, which is where they put out Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror and all that stuff.
Yes.
It's a throwback to that, and we want to do more of these issues. So,
Nice.
so yeah, anybody that's into all that shit, check it out. There's my shameless plug on that.
Okay, and now for my because I wanted to use this, but I'm just like, well, everyone's gonna be like, oh well, everyone knows about that, but it's better than an honorable mention, but still, like Dawn of the Dead.
Oh yeah,
Dawn of the Dead is just so iconic. They made a remake that was actually pretty good.
I like the remake.
I still prefer the original.
I do too.
But I did like the ending to the remake, just because I'm just like, they're just like, oh, well, what are you gonna do? Well, fuck it, everyone dies.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get on that. We're gonna go to this island, and they're like, okay, and they get to the island, and it's just like it's like fuck. I saw that in a theater, dude, when it came out, man.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I saw that in theaters.
That was the same week I got questioned for murder, and that's no bullshit. Yeah, it was the same week I got questioned for. We were going to pick up a buddy of ours from Tennessee, in Columbus, Tennessee, small little area, and while we're there grabbing his stuff or whatever, man, like we went and saw Dawn of the Dead, and that place was fucking packed. And from the opening scene, and then they go to the Johnny Cash song, and I'm like, dude, this is perfect.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, now I want to rewatch the remake. Damn.
Then do it.
I will.
Right?
You better.
I know. It's been so long since I've seen it. I'm just like it's like A Man Comes Around by Johnny Cash, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
that's the song. And when I heard that song play and the opening, I'm like, this is fucking perfect.
Mm-hmm. It just goes to show. I mean, like, I like movies that have, like horror movies that usually have like, Slayer, or Ministry, or or something like that. But it's like you don't always have to fucking.
Have metal.
It could be a subtle, a very subtle acoustic song by a goddamn country legend, that can really fit. And it kind of changed my perspective on some things. And I thought it was perfect. I mean, it's like a minute. It's like a really fucked up music video for that song too. That opening is. It's
I remember
fucking.
reading something about Quentin Tarantino where he says whenever he hears songs, that's how he writes the scene for whatever songs he wants to use in his movies. Like he'll just listen to them and then just picture some shit. I thought that was always pretty cool.
But no, like when a man comes around, the song, just the lyrics, just fit so well with the zombie like genre. So I thought Zack Snyder was a genius for using that.
Oh yeah, I really do. When it comes down to like remakes, which I'm sure that we'll talk about. Like we haven't talked about remakes yet, have we?
Yes, we have.
Like, but we had a remake episode.
No. We just briefly talked about it, but okay. So
Like
yeah.
at some point in time, we should really actually talk about some of our favorite
I
remakes.
thought we did last week.
We talked about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we talked about the remakes of that.
Oh yeah, we did our favorite remakes at the end of the show.
Oh, did you see? I remember I got cut off in last.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't even remember that. God damn, I was left out again.
Okay.
Fuck.
We can do it again.
Fuck.
Okay, so you said honorable mention. Okay, what about your honorable mention, Chad?
Man, the zombie shit's tough because like a lot of them are really dope.
I know.
There's too many good ones. I mean, there's still a lot of shitty ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Dead Snow too.
Yeah.
No. That's a tough one, man.
No honorable mention though. Like, I mean, just something.
I don't know if I can do like there's a lot of like the ones that seem like they're zombie movies. Well, I'm gonna go Night of the Creeps, I guess, because that's kind of maybe zombie-ish.
Yeah, it's zombie-ish.
It's more sci-fi-ish, I think, with the little slugs or whatever. But
I mean,
it's
true,
just like,
but
it's just like Nod of the Comet.
Right.
It's like it's not. They're not really zombies, but they are zombies. You know what I mean?
Right.
It has a sci-fi element. So yeah, I'll go with that too. Yeah, definitely.
That movie's pretty funny.
It's been a while.
That's how like Slither came along. Like Slither was pretty dope too in its own right.
Oh, Slither's a damn good movie.
But yeah, Night of the Creeps was way better. Because whenever I watched Slither when it first came out, I think I was living in Pittsburgh and I was like, this reminds me of Night of the Creeps.
Right. I think it was done by the same person, right?
I do not know.
James.
I know Michael Rooker's great though. That always freaked me out though. Whenever you would see like slugs, like and you pour salt on them or whatever, like outside.
Yeah.
Whenever I was a kid and I saw that movie, that's what I always thought those little fucking things were.
So
I was
movie Slugs.
Some salt on them.
Have you? Are you talking about Night of the Creeps?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Slugs though?
There's a movie called Slugs.
Oh, dude, yes, it's ridiculous. Like they're slugs with teeth.
Can you pour salt on them and they die?
Yeah. Yeah. If I remember
that's
correctly,
how you win.
Yeah. And then, when I was a kid and I watched that movie, it was like hard for me to be like, I was freaked out by slugs. I was like, man, I watched this shit on USA Up All Night last night. I ain't doing this.
Oh man, USA Up All Night was the best.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, that was good shit.
Like, hell, I mean, here's another honorable mention or whatever. It's one that actually is like right up there with me and the original Night of the Living Dead, but the remake of Night of the Living Dead. Like, that movie, like I thought that was a fucking. I think we've mentioned it before on here, but it's so damn good. I mean, I love the original. I love the original. I told you I love the original. Damn, it's really close with the fucking Tom Savini one, man. It really is because everything was damn near perfect for that. And I also prefer Barbara in the remake than I did the Barbara in the original, which we had Patricia Tallman, who plays Barbara in the Tom Savini remake. We had her on Tell Us in the Podcast last 2G1C one night, and it was actually her birthday, and she was a little bit tipsy, and she kept bitching at me because it's video, and she kept bitching at me because I was chain smoking, and I didn't realize anything, but at the end of it, which JB knew, but he didn't tell me till later on, that she just had a really good friend of hers die of lung cancer. And I'm just on the fucking podcast, just chain smoking. And she's like, you really should cut down on the cigarettes there, Chuck. And I'm like, whatever. And I'm sure I made some kind of stupid comment. And yeah, I used to have a big old crush on Barbara. So it was kind of weird when she when Miss Tallman was giving me shit. I'm like, oh my God, I'm being reprimanded by her. Yes, tell me more.
Shame me. Shame me.
How bad I am.
Wow.
She's cool though. She's a sweet woman. But yeah,
That's pretty fucking funny.
yeah. But
That's
yeah, I would say that the remake is definitely one you got to mention because it's fucking great. It really is. Todd, I mean, come on, Tony Todd, like shit. It's great.
I just watched some shit with him the other day.
Oh yeah, what was it?
Shadow Puppet.
Shadow.
Oh yeah, I was trying to find the first one, but that's just the remake on like Amazon.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
It's not bad. I mean, it's different.
What's it about?
These people wake up in these cells with no memory, and they don't know where they're at or how they got there. And then, so they're like trying to find a way out the whole time. But then they realize like the shadows on the wall like end up turning into some demon and kill them.
That's actually kind of cool.
But then they explain where it came from during the movie. But if you do explain it now, it'll give everything away.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll have
But
to try to
it
find
wasn't
the
bad.
original.
Like you kind of figure things out because I think we did touch a little bit on it either last week or the week before.
Well, good thing I forgot.
Because it has that what's his name? James Marsters.
James Marsters.
Yeah.
Spike.
Yeah.
I met him at a convention once. He's really nice.
I always liked him because he played Brainiac on Smallville.
Wow,
Okay.
See, I didn't watch much Smallville, so I didn't know he played Brainiac. I can see that.
Yeah, he's dope.
So
yeah, he's a really nice guy.
My fucking stupid. Like it didn't have me connected for like the last like 3 minutes. So I didn't hear a word you said. Like it was just.
It's
like,
okay. I mentioned that I met James Marsters, who played Spike on Buffy, and he's actually really cool. He's very British.
Very British.
Yeah, he's very proper.
That always cracks me up too. Like the guys like that always use American accents. Then whenever you hear them in an interview, you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. His band's pretty cool. Ghost the Robot.
Ghost the Robot.
Or Ghost of the Robot. Yeah, like James Marsters has a band called Ghost the Robot or something.
What kind of music is it?
It's like weird, like alternative Brit like British type stuff. Not really The Cure. I would say more like like the older stuff, like the stuff from the early 2000s type stuff.
Okay. Hey, give me just 1 second. I've got to go run just real quick. I'll be right back. You all keep talking about zombies for a second.
Zombies.
Even though we're talking about James Marsters, but yeah, no, he was really cool.
Has he ever played a zombie?
I don't think so. I just told him that I really loved him in Doctor Who because he played the like another captain.
That's one show I never got into.
Fair.
I remember
giant
whenever we
sci-fi
met-
nerd.
Whenever we met Jason Bateman up in New York, I was like, I wish I'd have known I was going to run into you. I'd have brought my Teen Wolf 2 poster. And he was like, oh, man, I was hoping to forget all about that movie.
I was hoping you just have to remember the horrible things.
That was pretty funny because that's whenever they were filming that, him and Jennifer Aniston were filming that movie Switch or whatever.
I'm back.
Oh yeah, that movie.
Yes, we ran into him and I was talking
There's
to
so
him.
many
I was like, "That's just
Switch
fun."
movies. Yeah, there's so many body switching movies. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I've never even seen that movie.
What movie?
The Switch.
I never.
It's an old movie.
Sorry, I took a shot of whiskey and it didn't taste good. Ugh.
It's either drinking or smoking for you.
It's both, buddy. You kidding me?
or both.
What would you say is like the worst zombie movies you see?
Oh God.
Oh, okay. I got one. You guys are both gonna laugh and agree. Is Resident Evil Apocalypse?
Yes.
That one was pretty bad.
Oh, like the first movie wasn't bad,
No, the first
Like-
one's I could deal with the first one, but the other one's just horrible.
but Apocalypse was just like, okay, let's take Resident Evil 2, like everyone's favorite fucking video game, and ruin it.
Right. Yeah.
it was just like the whole thing with. Okay, so I watched the USA version with the edited curse and cursing.
Yeah.
And so, was it Nemesis has a rocket launcher, and some guy's like, that mother lover's got a rocket launcher. I'm like, wait, what?
That mother lover.
lover?
Lover.
It made the movie bearable because everybody, all the cursing and all the bad stuff was edited, so it was just ridiculous. It was almost like a riff tracks.
Yeah, I've got a deep hatred for the Resident Evil movies. Except that new one. The new one's badass. I liked it, but
I mean, I have deep love for freaking Mila Jovovich, but you know, when you fuck the
Oh, me
director
too.
and stuff, when you
I have
fuck the
deep
director
love.
and the director's your husband, like yeah,
Yeah,
it's
she's-
just like
She's up there with Danielle Harris for me.
oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, well, okay, if you're no, she's I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say. She's hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I
come
haven't
on.
watched the last Resident Evil movie, not this newest one, but the last one in the Mila Jovovich Alice Chronicles.
Which one is
But I heard it was awful.
I haven't seen that one yet either.
Yeah, I
don't know
gave
if I
up.
need to. I gave up after the fifth one. I made it all the way to number 5.
Well, it's like
Well,
I watched all the CBS. Like
They're not
I
worth
just
going to pay money for, actually.
they're really not. Like I one time when I had a little bit of money and I was at Walmart and they had like the you can get all the movies for like $5.
That's about what they're worth.
Yeah, and I couldn't even bring myself to buy that. Like I'm the kind of person that's like, okay, I'm at Walmart, I've got to look at horror movies. Okay, I look at horror movies and shirts and see what's up. And then it's like, oh, they got all the Resident Evils, and I'm like,
Yay.
It's like it's $5. At $5 could buy me a pack of smokes. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Winston. I'm gonna go with the Winston and leave the Resident Evil movies alone.
Cigarettes, trash TV. Cigarettes, trash TV.
Yeah, like I mean, you gotta have your priorities, right? You know, I mean,
Trash TV.
the word Dave was saying, a man has got to know his limitations.
Oh my god. That's pretty good. But I will say the one Resident Evil movie I liked is when they brought in Wesker and they made him British, like in the video games. That was
Which one?
4.
Was that 4?
Yeah.
What
4
really,
was so dumb, though.
I hated the fact they brought that one dude on, the comic relief dude.
Oh, yeah, that fucking guy.
Who, Mike Epps?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought he was funny in them. So he cracked me up.
Oh no, Mike Epps is great. His character made no sense to be in the movie other than to be the black guy.
We'll
Yeah,
agree.
it really didn't. But I mean, to me, like they just needed some kind of comic relief because sometimes the actors were so bad.
Oh,
this
yeah, they took it-
the background players. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I was
they
gonna
took
say
it
they already had a
way
comic
too
relief.
seriously.
They already had the
took it way
comic
too
relief.
seriously.
Yeah.
But it just broke it up a little more whenever like any of the scenes where it wasn't like Mia, it was just other people.
Yeah, no one cared. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
well, what
It
gives
was
a
kind of
fuck?
like watching one of my least favorite zombie movies,
Which would be what?
Doom.
God, what a piece of
Oh
shit that movie was.
no.
Movie was so bad.
Okay, I watched the sequel, and the sequel was only better because it actually sort of followed the story.
Like
All right.
I tried so hard to like that because I love The Rock, but
But have you watched the sequel to it?
no.
Well, it's
All
not really the sequel. It's like another Doom movie. It's like Doom Annihilation. It's really bad CGI, and it's actually kind of interesting, but it doesn't get good until the last half hour of the movie, and then it's over. But you thought the Doom movie with The Rock was bad? Watch Annihilation.
Oh God.
I want to. You're not giving me any selling points.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sold. I think I'm just not.
I can't think of any selling points. That's the problem.
That's enough said.
But Carl Urban really makes that movie, though. Despite the fact that it's a terrible movie.
I'll say this too, like there is one really big letdown zombie movie that I was like really was fucking Land of the Dead.
Oh man, yeah, they hyped the shit out of that movie.
You know what was wrong about Land of the Dead? Because honestly, I don't. It's not my least favorite when it comes down to the Dead movie.
No, I'm just saying it was just a letdown movie.
Yeah, it was a big letdown.
Well, at the time period when it came out, like it was, Dennis Hopper was basically George Bush.
Yeah,
That's who
he was.
And they were doing like commentary like a son of a bitch on it, and I don't know. There was a lot to that movie where it was like, we could have. It is kind of cool that they have like the zombies being like remembering like where they were, but it's like okay, are zombies remembering things? Do they have brains?
I mean,
Like,
I wouldn't think so.
Can they really? Right. Like, can they really remember where they were? Like, and then you have the big giant like dude, the gas station dude, the big black motherfucker who's leading everybody, like in like the leader, and like they're all using like I hate guns. Like I'm like, come on, zombies using guns. Is that really neat? I don't
think they were definitely evolving in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe too much.
I didn't care about the swimming as much. I thought that John Leguizamo being in that movie was an interesting casting choice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like,
every time I see him, I just keep thinking of Benny from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Benny from the Bronx.
Or like his character from Spun.
Mm-hmm. The fucking method.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's a fucking trip.
He's a good actor. He just he had a lot of crappy movies. Yeah.
Oh come on, Too Long Fu was fun.
No,
that was a funny.
It wasn't. I'm just saying, like his characters, like, he has such a range.
He does. He really does.
He can fucking
Spawn.
play.
He played the clown in Spawn.
Yeah, that was insane.
He killed that shit.
Yeah, again, a hell of a range.
He's an underrated actor.
Yeah, he very much is.
Yeah, it really is.
Because everyone makes a joke about makes a joke about it and stuff, and he's like he's not really an actor. I'm like, dude, he went from Too Long Fu to fucking Spawn.
Yeah.
And he played in gangster movies.
Yeah, you want to do that shit? Can you do that shit? No,
do you remember Summer of Sam?
Yeah, he was in that. He was really good in that.
About that shit.
Yeah, I forgot he was in that, but I do remember that he was. What was he? One of the side characters or one of the main characters?
He was one of the main characters. One of the
something.
Yeah, there's a whole thing because Duder came back from England or something, and he was like all punk rock, and everybody was weirded out by punk rockers, and they all thought that he was the killer and all this shit. That's
right. They did think he was the killer. Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't know. They're like, oh, we wouldn't think to be any ordinary looking guy. And actually, it's a different type of movie. Because when I saw it in theaters, I was thinking, okay, it's a fucking, Son of Sam. like, yeah, it's a movie that has to do with Son of Sam, but it's the Summer of Sam. Like, okay, this is what's going on, and then you have a few other people that are in that time period and have like what they're going through, and on top of there's a killer going out, shit, No, I thought it was good. It was a Spike Lee joint.
I'll smoke anybody's joints. I don't care who it is.
Well, that's what he calls all his fucking movies, are like
No,
joints.
Joints.
Like, yeah. I mean, I
But
I'm a fan.
but it was a serial killer movie, but not a serial killer movie. It was about a serial killer, but it was like from the perspective of the people in like New York City, and I thought that was actually a really
Right.
cool take.
Right.
oh yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like it was a lot better than I think a lot of people give it credit for.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
It's definitely underrated. Like you never hear anybody talk about Summer of Sam. Like this movie was so good though.
It came out at a weird time. I think if that movie came out now, people would love it.
I mean,
Because
yeah.
at that time period, like if you were like me, if you were or you were intrigued by serial killers, you were a freak. And now everything's like Netflix. And people
I mean, yeah, there's
like
so many
it's,
documentaries about killers.
yeah. And people,
Are you there?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Well, we lost Chuck.
Oh, Senor Nasty. Senor
Well-
Nasty.
I think that's probably a good sign. Probably should head on
Yeah.
home.
I mean, with the zombie topics, too, we're going to be talking about that shit all night.
Yeah,
Because, like I said, there's just so many fucking good ones and horrible ones.
there is. But I thought tonight went really well. We talked a lot about zombie movies, especially ones that people probably forgot about.
True.
And but yep, it's been good. This has been Andrew.
This is Chad, old El Jefe.
Yep. Saying to everybody, they're coming to get you, Barbara. We're out.
Hey, you. So, you want to start a podcast but not sure where to start? I'll tell you where to start. You start at Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Number 1, it's free. Number 2, it's free. Number 3, it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast. That's right. No minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Anchor.
This is Video Store Clerks. All movies, all the time. Welcome to the store.